What could cause you to crash if the level is allowed to get too low? Brake fluid level. What can you achieve if you drive smoothly? Reduction in fuel consumption by about 15%. What can you do to reduce environmental damage caused by your vehicle? Avoid making a lot of short journeys. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? To help you avoid neck injury. You're stopped at the side of the road. What must you do if you'll be waiting there for some time? Switch off the engine. When may a passenger travel in a car without wearing a seat belt? When they're exempt for medical reasons. What could you do to reduce the volume of traffic on the roads? Walk or cycle on short journeys. What should you do when leaving your vehicle parked and unattended? Lock it and remove the key. When should you check the engine oil level? Before a long journey. When is fuel consumption at its highest? When you're accelerating. When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? Between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in a built-up area. How will a roof rack affect your car? Fuel consumption will increase. You're having difficulty finding a parking space in a busy town. Can you park on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing? No, not under any circumstances. Why should you try and park in a secure car park? It helps deter thieves. What makes the vehicle in the picture environmentally friendly? It's powered by electricity. You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. When should tire pressures be checked? When tires are cold. How can you reduce the risk of your vehicle being broken into at night? Leave it in a well-lit area. You're carrying two 13-year-old children and their parents in your car. Who's responsible for seeing that the children wear seat belts? You, the driver. You're carrying an 11-year-old child on the front seat of your car. They're under 1.35 meters, 4 feet 5 inches, tall. What seat belt security must be in place? They must use a suitable child restraint. What's the purpose of a catalytic converter? To reduce harmful exhaust gases. How can you plan your route before starting a long journey? Use a route planner on the internet. You're driving a friend's children home from school. They're both under 14 years old. Who's responsible for making sure they wear a seatbelt or approved child restraint where required? You, the driver. What's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? 1.6 millimeters. How can you avoid wasting fuel? By having your vehicle serviced regularly. What will help you to keep your car secure? Registering with a vehicle watch scheme. How can you reduce the damage your vehicle causes to the environment? Anticipate well ahead. Where would parking your vehicle cause an obstruction? In front of a property entrance. What makes your tires illegal? If they have any large, deep cuts in the side wall. What should you remove from your car before leaving it unattended? The vehicle registration document. You want to put a rear-facing baby seat on the front passenger seat. What must you do if the passenger seat is protected by a frontal airbag? Deactivate the airbag. What can you expect if you drive using rapid acceleration and heavy braking? Increased fuel consumption. What's the legal minimum depth of tread for car tires? What's the legal minimum depth of tread for car tires? 1.6 millimeters. What does fuel-efficient driving achieve? Improved road safety. How will your journey be affected by traveling outside the busy times of day? Your journey will have fewer delays. How should you drive when you're driving along a road that has road humps? Maintain a reduced speed throughout. How can you help to prevent your car radio being stolen? Install a security-coded radio. You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? Allow plenty of time for the trip. What's likely to happen if you put too much oil in your engine? The oil seals will leak. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes and narrowings? To reduce traffic speed. When will your vehicle use more fuel? When its tires are underinflated. What does it mean if this light comes on while you're driving? A fault in the braking system. What's most likely to increase fuel consumption? Harsh braking and accelerating. What's the safest thing to do if you have to leave valuables in your car? Lock them out of sight. You're leaving your vehicle parked on a road and unattended. When may you leave the engine running? Never if you're away from the vehicle. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? Lock it and remove the key. How much more fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour, compared with driving at 50 miles per hour? About 15%. How can you reduce the chances of your car being broken into when leaving it unattended? Take all valuables with you. What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? Have the brakes checked as soon as possible. What will reduce fuel consumption? Driving more slowly. You have to make an unexpected journey. You're carrying a 5-year-old child on the back seat of your car. They're under 1.35 meters, 4 feet 5 inches, tall. How should you seat them if a correct child restraint isn't available? Using an adult seat belt. How should you dispose of a used vehicle battery? Take it to a local authority disposal site. What's most likely to waste fuel? Underinflated tires. Why have red routes been introduced in major cities? To help the traffic flow. You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? Your original route may be blocked. What does it mean if your vehicle keeps bouncing after you sharply press down and release on the bodywork over a wheel? The shock absorbers are worn. How will you benefit from following the manufacturer's service schedule for your vehicle? Your vehicle will remain reliable. What can be damaged if you turn the steering wheel when the car isn't moving? The tires. How can drivers help the environment? By accelerating gently. What part of the car does the law require you to keep in good condition? The seat belts. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? Missing out some gears. How can driving in a fuel-efficient manner help protect the environment? By reducing exhaust emissions. What may help to deter a thief from stealing your car? Etching the registration number on the windows. How can you reduce the environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? Keep engine revs low. Why do MOT tests include an exhaust emission test? To help protect the environment against pollution. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? The vehicle's stopping distance would increase. Why is it a good idea to plan your journey to avoid busy times? You'll have an easier journey. On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? On the exhaust system. You service your own vehicle. How should you dispose of the old engine oil? Take it to a local authority site. What should you do if your anti-lock brakes, ABS, warning light stays on? Have the brakes checked immediately. If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? A properly adjusted head restraint. The fluid level in your battery is low. What fluid should you use to top it up? Distilled water. What can cause excessive or uneven tire wear? A faulty braking system. What can people who live or work in towns and cities do to help reduce urban pollution levels? Walk or cycle. You need to top up your battery with distilled water. What level should you fill it to? Just above the cell plates. What will happen if your car's wheels are unbalanced? The steering will vibrate. Why is it important to wear suitable shoes when you're driving? To maintain control of the pedals.